To build anything that truly lasts, it takes time.
Let's take it across to my colleague Sharad, who's waiting by to break it down for us. What could the market impact be? What sectors stand to gain the most? Sharad, over to you.
Well, of course, the textile space, the auto ancillary space, these stocks are buzzing in day's trade also. And you look at the overall impact in the key labor-intensive sectors. If you look at it, the duties have been reduced to zero from previously high levels. To keep it in perspective, 20% on marine products, largely seafood, also 12% on textiles and clothing, and 8% on chemicals, and 10% on base metals as well. To put it across, textiles would be one of the largest gainers coming in, because now India is also getting the preferential duty access, which earlier Pakistan, Bangladesh and Cambodia were also enjoying. So now it becomes actually for Indian exporters for the textile segment. Same thing goes for the leather and footwear products as well, which augurs well for the exporters as well. Agriculture products, there is a zero duty market access for almost 1433 lines, and that is positive coming in. And the same thing applies for the marine products, seafoods as well, where UK itself is a huge consumer when it comes to the shrimps as well. Food processing, roughly 985 tariff lines, and that holds almost 10.1% share in this agreement as well. And Indian Oilseeds and Produce Export Promoters Council, that would also be there in focus as well. But of course, net mass immigration, there were some issues concerning that, but now the immigration, especially on skill-based movement, would also be taken care of. Medical devices, autos, beverages and high engineered goods will also be in focus, where there will be a strong momentum when it comes to the overall exports as well as imports. But the pharma segment, that also has 56 lines, where just 0.6% of total contribution is coming from the overall trade, but this augurs well as well when it comes especially in the generics. And lastly, chemicals is the space to watch out for as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sharad, for highlighting all the sectors that are going to be the big beneficiary of this particular deal that has been signed. But Sumita, coming to you, you have been tracking the developments all throughout, and it's UK Prime Minister Starmer saying that it's the most significant deal since UK left the EU. So indeed big, but help us with some of the other key takeaways as well, Sumita.
Absolutely, Shrishi. So this commentary that we've just heard from UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who was elected recently, and of course Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that signals, or that sends out a very, very strong message to the global community, most importantly to the United States as well, because we are negotiating a bilateral trade deal, a mini deal, and of course then a full-fledged deal, the first tranche of which is expected to come by the fall of this year. This is a significant message going out to the United States that India is not going to bow down to the United States. And of course, there are certain red lines which will remain firm with respect to agri, dairy and GM crops. But coming back to this statement, this joint statement, rather joint press conference that was done by Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Prime Minister Modi, wherein Prime Minister Starmer said that this is the most significant deal that the United Kingdom has signed post-Brexit. That really shows the kind of ties that exist between India and the United Kingdom. Of course, the Prime Minister Starmer also said that now we are signing a vision document 2035. Now, if you remember, both countries and the leadership from both the countries had decided to take the bilateral trade to $120 billion by 2030. And of course, this FTA, which has been signed today, that will add $34 billion every year to the bilateral trade. But of course, there have been convergences between both the countries, whether it is about technology, defense, and today, of course, as part of this vision document, they announced that there's going to be focus on education as well.
Okay, lots to watch out for when it comes to this India-UK FTA that's been signed. Indeed, a momentous occasion for both of those economies. But that was our coverage on the FTA from Shrishti and me and the team that put the show together. Thanks so much for tuning in.